Ozzy Osbourne played his final show Saturday night. And while it's an end for his live career, it's the beginning of a different chapter, 'cause his daughter's engaged. Kelly Osbourne was hanging out with her fam backstage of his show at Villa Park in Birmingham, England, Ozzy's hometown, when her longtime partner, Slipknot star Sid Wilson, grabbed the room's attention. Sid tells her he loves her more than anything, and he adds nothing will make him happier than a lifetime with her. SW then drops to one knee and asks her to marry him. Though Ozzy pauses the affair to check out the bling, only the best for his daughter after all. Ozzy seems satisfied with the ring. And it looks like Kelly is too, 'cause she said yes as the whole family cheered the couple on. Kelly and Sid started dating in 2022 and they share one child together. This is Kelly's third engagement, though she's never made it all the way to the altar. The couple's engagement may have taken the spotlight away from the legendary rock star for a moment, but Ozzy was the focus of the whole evening, blowing his fans away with Crazy Train and other big hits in his last show. Now he's got time to spend with the fam. And he might even try his hand at a little wedding planning. But beneath the flashing lights, the roaring cheers, and the sparkle of an engagement ring, there was a bittersweet undertone to the night that hung in the air like incense in a cathedral. Because while Kelly's life was just stepping into a new phase filled with promise and joy, Ozzy's final bow marked the closing of a chapter that had once seemed eternal. For over 5 decades, Ozzy Osbourne wasn't just a musician. He was a phenomenon, a storm that couldn't be tamed. From his rough beginnings in working-class Birmingham to the stratospheric rise with Black Sabbath, and later, his solo career that cemented his place as a rock god, Ozzy was one of those rare cultural forces who reshaped the music world with sheer madness, vulnerability, and brilliance. Saturday night wasn't just about a final concert. It was about paying homage to a man who had walked through hell and returned with stories to scream into a microphone. Backstage, there was laughter, nostalgia, and quiet reflection. Sharon Osbourne, his wife and lifelong partner in love and chaos, stood nearby, eyes misty but proud. She'd seen him through addiction, recovery, career highs, and tragic lows. She wasn't just a spouse, she had been his anchor, his manager, his storm shield. And now, as he prepared to step away from live performances for good, her presence was a reminder that even legends need a harbor. Jack and Kelly Osbourne, his children, were there too, grown now, no longer the wild kids from the reality show that made them famous in a different way, but parents, creators, and partners in their own right. Kelly's engagement wasn't just an emotional moment for her, it was symbolic. It was as if the torch was being passed in a quiet, organic way, one Osbourne stepping into a fresh beginning as another gracefully walked into the twilight of a glorious musical reign. Proposal itself was personal and raw, not a show for cameras but a genuine outpouring of love. Sid Wilson, known for his aggressive stage persona as Slipknot's masked DJ, let down every wall to profess his love. His words weren't rehearsed, they were felt. He told Kelly he had waited for this moment, that every experience had led to her. The room, filled with tattoos, eyeliner, black leather, and heavy metal history, fell into hushed reverence. And then came the moment. Sid lowered himself to one knee, the room holding its breath. As he opened the box, a shimmer caught Ozzy's eye. Prince of Darkness himself stopped everything, shuffled closer, and leaned in with narrowed eyes. It was such a quintessential Ozzy moment, interrupting a proposal to inspect the ring. "Let me see the bloody thing," he probably muttered, his humor still sharp after all these years. He gave an approving nod, a smirk tugging at the corners of his mouth, and that was it. Kelly said yes, tears streaking her cheeks as Jack cheered, Sharon clapped, and Ozzy grinned like a man who had lived long enough to see all the madness become beauty. Kelly and Sid's love story isn't conventional. Then again, nothing in the Osbourne world ever is. They met through the music scene, bonded over chaos, and found calm in each other. Their relationship, kept relatively private despite their fame, blossomed into something that withstood pressures, rumors, and expectations. Their son, born in 2022, was a symbol of grounding. For Kelly, who had battled addiction and public scrutiny for most of her adult life, becoming a mother gave her a new kind of clarity. This engagement, her third, feels different because she's different. Stronger. More grounded. more ready. For Ozzy, the final show was everything. As the opening notes of Crazy Train screamed through the venue, fans surged with emotion. This song, a rallying cry of rebellion and survival, felt more potent than ever. Ozzy didn't hit every note perfectly, but that didn't matter. Never had. What mattered was the heart, the soul, the unmistakable Ozzy energy that shook the walls and sent chills up spines. When he performed, "Mama, I'm Coming Home," there wasn't a dry eye in the stadium. It was a goodbye not just to the stage, but to the version of Ozzy who had been our chaotic musical guide through generations. The song, once a ballad about longing and return, now felt like a farewell letter to his fans, a promise that while he may not be on the stage, he would always be with them in the music. For the final song, he stood center stage, arms stretched out, silhouette glowing under golden light. For a long time, he said nothing. Just looked. At the crowd. The sky. Maybe at his memories. When he finally spoke, his voice cracked slightly, not from age but from the weight of the moment. He thanked his fans for sticking with him, for believing in him even when he didn't believe in himself. And then, in true Ozzy fashion, he shouted, "I love you all, you crazy F ********************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************* future felt uncertain but oddly comforting. Ozzy wasn't dying, he was evolving. The road, after all, had nearly killed him many times. Retirement from touring was not a loss, it was a reclaiming. A man who had given everything to his fans now had a chance to give more of himself to his family. He'll have time now. Time to wake up without the rush of tour schedules. Time to sit with Sharon on quiet mornings. Time to hold his grandson. Time to plan Kelly's wedding if she'll let him. Maybe he'll walk her down the aisle with that signature grin, barely holding back tears. Maybe he'll even sing at the wedding. Maybe he won't need a microphone to be heard, because his voice lives in every room where people still play his records and scream the lyrics with their hearts. His legacy isn't just in platinum albums or sold-out arenas. It's in survival, in transformation, in staying true to himself even when the world didn't understand him. Ozzy Osbourne didn't just make music. He made people feel seen in their madness, their pain, their joy. He gave outsiders a home. And now, as he turns that wild love inward toward his family, toward peace, toward quiet, it feels right. So yes, it was his last show. But not the end of the music. Not the end of the man. Just a new chapter. And for Kelly, who once roamed tour buses and TV sets as the rebellious daughter of rock royalty, it's a beginning she never saw coming. A chance to build a home of her own, side by side with someone who loves her completely. Two milestones collided on that Saturday night. The end of an era and the beginning of a new one. One filled with memories, legacy, family, and perhaps the softest kind of rebellion, choosing peace after chaos, love after noise. And somewhere in Birmingham, the echoes of that night will live on forever.